phone.
Morning, everybody. It's Friday. Yes, 19th of June. We're Signal Centre talking ball. I'm Joe Noble and joined by Steve O'Hare. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm joining you on my mobile phone.
A few technical issues this morning, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, it was all right, all going swimmingly. I thought I was doing okay. And then there was a graphics graphics card update, and things have gone downhill since then. I won't mention the graphics card by name.
No,
just in
because you might
case
crash the stock.
Exactly. We could be getting, a call for that. Could be inside trading, really, as well. If I realise how crap it is, and then tell people. Maybe
Nvidia.
no, not that one.
Okay. So it's been pretty flat, really, trading wise, hasn't it? I think yesterday was all pretty range bound and choppy, from what I can gather.
Was a little bit dollar strength, but very choppy in the equity markets as well. That continues. Doesn't seem to be going away. It's quite a sort of like frustrating week overall. I managed to clip a couple of trades yesterday, which was all right. The clip the FTSE and the copper. The copper I was quite pleased with, but that sort of that sell off has stalled and it's now reversing. So same with the FTSE, that had a decent sell off from where I got short.
You clipped it around 62.80, did you? Something around there?
62.60.
Okay.
I think it got down to below 62, the figure, but it's back up there today. I was still sort of like want to sell into the FTSE.
I think once below this 6,300 level, there's good reason to be selling it. It's just going to be choppy, though. I think also what we've got today, I'm not sure people are aware of what the witching impact is. So that's when the futures and options expire on the third Friday of each month. What we have today is the quadruple witching. It's when stock indices also rebalance as well. So you have stocks dropping out of the big indices and going into the big indices. It can have a bit of an impact because funds are obviously having to readjust their books. So that can have a big impact as well. I just had a look at a Bloomberg article, actually, which I will send over into the groups. But according to this article, on the last quadruple witching, it's the 20th of March, so it was in and amongst all that turmoil, we saw a double in the amount of volume compared to what had been seen over the average. So there's a big volume surge in stocks in particular. So, keep an eye on that today. We get a call through.
Yeah, I think Ian's trying to get in and join us, but having a lot of trouble, as much trouble as me. Maybe I've sort of...
Maybe you've been taken down by that Australian cyber attack. Did you see that?
No, I didn't know.
A big nationwide cyber attack, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, it could be happening. Yeah. I mean, we'd be a prime target. We could, this could be the
people trying to topple us.
Signal Centre taken down. That could be the catalyst for the next down leg.
Yeah, quite possibly. Oil's on a bit of a move higher today. That's looking pretty decent in the short term. We've got this previous high up here at 40.61, which is the highest level we would have seen since the crash that took place over the last couple of months. So keep an eye on that. If we get a break above that 40.60 level, then that could trigger another wave of buying. I think we talked about a gap being a bit higher up around here. So there it is on the daily chart.
Yeah.
So we are looking at the close on the daily chart there on the 6th at 41.65. So that could be
the low. That was the low as well.
That was it wasn't the low, it was the close. The low was 41.16. Is there any fib level there as well? No. Fib level's a bit higher up. I'm not sure what Ian's up to here. So that's looking quite interesting and would suggest that there is bullishness at the minute. Gold is still range bound. I've got on my charts anyway. I did have this head and shoulders that I was looking at.
Okay, can you see Ian on the studio? In the studio?
No. Is that what the issue is?
Yeah, he's saying I can't get in. Yeah, go on, carry on.
Technical issues, eh? Fun
Yeah.
and games. I was just talking about gold. Just got it in range bound. Where's my gold chart gone? Maybe it's an issue with StreamYard today.
Could be. I don't know.
So this is my gold chart. I'm still talking about this inverse head and shoulders, and it's just been range bound, choppy in between here. But gold is picking up a bit today. Equities are up as well, so a bit odd to see everything moving up at the same time. DAX, looking at this yesterday, we had a sort of false break above that 12,435 level, and it reversed pretty sharply off of that. Looks like we're going for another test of that level today. If we break that, then we could be heading up to that 78.6 level at 12,644. I'm looking to sell to intraday today at 12,670. We had dollar index yesterday, which performed quite nicely as well. I was talking about that inverse head and shoulders. We bought yesterday on Talking Ball around about, there actually, 97.11. Didn't get to the target, but did stick a couple of R on the board yesterday on that. Just share the gun to the head stuff. We had a dollar index trade, which was 2.11 R. Stephen was stopped on the Dow, and Ian was long of Aussie yen, which was 46 lower. Didn't get stopped out, but 0.69 R on the close. Overall, the P&L had a small tick up, so that's what we're interested in, and that's again continuing to heading in the right direction and sitting at an all-time high. So have you got any trade ideas today? I know you're obviously without a screen at the minute, so it might be a little bit difficult for you to do that, but I can throw the chart up if you...
That's all right. I was going to say I was a bit disappointed with the Dow. I thought I was on off to the races. I started counting chickens and everything. I got long, was it just around about the figure level? And then it rallied to, I can't even see the big figure now.
26,000?
Yeah, around just in front of 26,000 I was getting long, I think, on the guns ahead. And it got up to 26,075. Yeah, so it got up to 26,200 and something. So I thought, this is it. Big comeback. It didn't happen. No. If you go on to my charts on TradingView, okay. I just wonder if you can bring up cable.
Sure. Okay, which one was you looking at?
This sort of,
top left?
Yeah, top left.
Okay, so you've got a head and shoulders drawn on there.
Yeah, sort of a head and shoulders. I know I've drawn the neckline horizontally, not really an exact way of doing it. But I've sort of I see that as a decent sort of fib level as well. And we've had the breakthrough so the upward trending support was broken.
Yeah.
And we had the accelerated move through it, and we're getting a little bit of a throwback now to that neckline. So this is like probably more of a sort of medium-term trade, over a few days rather than maybe today. I can't see cable collapsing today, but you never know.
We did have some sterling figures out this morning, didn't we? Retail sales and bits and pieces and deficits, etc.
Yeah, and anything sort of like from lockdown or whatever, you might get any sort of like COVID news or Brexit news that sort of could have a sort of another impact. I mean, ideally, I'd like to sell into that throwback, but I'll get short of it here.
Do you want to stop just above the high there?
Yeah, lovely. That's fine. And sort of like look for a bit of a 5 or 6 to 1 risk reward on this. So it is a high risk trade. 5 to 6 1 for a reason. And
2300, which would be 5R.
Yeah, I like round numbers. You know me.
Okay, there you go. There's
5R. That sounds perfect.
Selling cable at 124.33. Stop at 124.58 with a target of 123.00. So that's 5.1R if that rolls in for you. I've got to now try and find a trade myself where I've been thrown off a little bit by everything that's gone on with the technical side of things today. So I'm going to do this on the fly. Just have a quick scan through some charts and see if anything particularly stands out. One thing I like to use is the 10-period moving average, just as a sort of trigger for momentum. If you get a close above or below that with a decent-looking candle, then it can often trigger a bit of a reversal in the direction that it's broken.
Is that on all time frames you look at that, or is it mainly...
I like it on the daily and the hourly, to be honest. They're mainly the two time frames that I look at. So there's one example of that. I was looking at, and I think you and I have been both looking at this, sterling New Zealand as forming a bit of a bottom. It was sort of taking shape there. But what we've seen over the last few hours is a breakdown below these support levels here and a retest there. Quite a nice one, really. That's been rejected, and then we've seen a close below that 10-period moving average. So I'm going to go with that, expecting a continuation lower. We've got a nice bounce back on the hourly to sell into, so I'm going to sell that at 93.51. I'm going to put a stop above that that retest there. So the high there is 94.02.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put a stop at 94.05, just a couple of pips in front of that. And I'm going to target a round number as well at 92.00. So it's a nice 3-to-1 risk reward on that one. So just again, looked as though it's bottoming out. Now broken to new lows, so we can continue to sell that now that the potential of a bottom pattern has been invalidated. And going to see if we can both see some weakness in sterling today.
Right. Yeah. Nice one. Shall we do one for Ian? Make him buy sterling.
Just to cover our arse a little bit.
It'll probably work for him.
Yeah. No, I think we'll leave that one for now. I can't find another one on the fly. Okay, so news-wise today or overnight, Chinese markets led the way overnight. They're looking pretty positive overall. I'll just throw up the China A50 chart because that was looking pretty good actually. So this is one of the markets that we cover later on in the session, but on my chart on the hourly, it's formed a decent inverse head and shoulders there and broken out quite nicely. Had a bit of a throwback there and a retest before powering on into the overnight session. The measured move is up there at 14.081. Bit of weakness over the last couple of hours, but overall that still looks pretty bullish. A surge in crude prices has helped that, and it's helped push the energy sector higher. The ASX has benefited off the back of that. That's coming off the back of the OPEC Plus move to enforce 100% conformity on their agreed production cuts. Nations will have until the 22nd of June to submit plans on exactly how they will compensate for any previous non-compliance. So OPEC ruling with a bit of an iron fist there and cracking down on any countries that are producing more than they should be, and obviously that will be bullish for oil in the short term. Already up 3% and above $40 this morning on our price there on TradingView. Some data out this morning from the UK. I haven't seen exactly what it is. Have you got? Obviously, you haven't got anything up, have you?
No, I'm trying to get a
quick look at those
stuff
numbers.
up. But it just seems to be getting killed every time. Hang on, got something now.
So UK retail sales ex auto and fuel was down 9.8%. The expectation was for down 14.9%, so actually a little bit better than expected, but that hasn't helped sterling today. That is pushing lower. And the UK public finances, 71.4 billion versus a previous revised figure of 73.9 billion, so that came in a bit worse than expected.
Right.
Okay, so a bit of a mixed bag. As I say, keep an eye on this triple witching, which occurs at a couple of periods during the day. You get the European one that normally happens around about 10, 11 o'clock, I think. And then you get the US version, which happens shortly after the open.
So that should be fun and games.
Yeah, could be a boost in volumes as a result of that. So, yeah, happy Friday, everybody. Good luck if you're trading. And we'll be back on Monday, I'm sure, with all our technical issues sorted out.
Cheers.
Lovely. See you later.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers, mate. Bye.